Amnesty International says Turkish authorities committed human rights abuses on a massive scale while trying to put down anti-government protests over the summer. The rights group says live ammunition was used, women protesters were sexually abused, and many other protesters badly beaten.
Police were using force, not in a way that was just disproportionate, but in a way which was completely unnecessary. You shouldn't be using force against peaceful protesters. So we saw that clearly in cities across Turkey. Another thing we saw is that police were using tear gas canisters as a weapon, firing directly at protesters in a way which is clearly inappropriate and is criminal and has to be brought to justice. Another thing we saw is that people were beaten by police officers at the scene of demonstrations and in unofficial detention, being held on the street or being held in police buses and being beaten by police officers. This is clearly criminal activity by police officers, and it has to be brought to justice.
The unrest began in May as a protest to stop the redevelopment of Istanbul's Gezi Park, one of the city's only remaining green spaces, in order to build a shopping mall and replica Ottoman-era military barracks. Following a harsh crackdown by riot police, protests morphed into nationwide anti-government demonstrations that lasted for weeks. At least 8 people died and 8,000 were injured as a result of the government crackdown, with police using live ammunition, tear gas, water cannons, plastic bullets, and physical force in their attempts to disperse the crowds.
It was like a horror movie. My whole face was covered with blood. Because of the place I was shot, I could not breathe. Blood was coming from my mouth, my nose, my ears.
Secular Turks say the Erdogan government has become authoritarian and is overseeing the Islamification of Turkey. The bloody crackdown on protesters was widely condemned by world leaders, and Turkey's bid to join the European Union and host the 2020 Olympic Games were both widely believed to have been fatally undermined as a result.